What up? What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Modi J. This is the Mo You Know. We got a few topics we're going to go over today. No particular order. If you got anything, you can go ahead and throw it in there. It's been a while since I actually done a live on here. I've been making more videos as of lately, but obviously we know that Raising Canaan is on, and that's where that's where I pay the bills at. So I gotta make sure I get enough of that content in. Jeez Louise. My TV just wanted to do a random update. Don't look like we got anybody in here right about now, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and do this. Let me see. If you in here, press one real quick. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hey, digital goods. Increase your potential. Turn it on. Let me see. We got a couple of people. We got like one or two in here, I want to say. All right. Well, anyway, get this thing started. It's been a while. This is exactly what. All right, here we go. So we all know about Elon. We'll talk about young DJ Daniels and how they're using him as a political pawn. But I literally just grabbed a screenshot from social media from X. But I guess there's a cyber attack that's going on right now over at X. So there's an actual cyber attack, and we see Elon complaining about it. Now, what up, Torian? I literally just grabbed a screenshot.
The president says cabinet officers should play a bigger role in deciding who in their departments gets cut. He says they should go first in.
And then, sure enough, it pops up here. But anyway, there's a potential cyber attack going on right now with X. So I'm probably going to log out, and then I'll just log back in once they get done with everything. What up, kid? Let me see. So this is what I seen a while ago while I was just on Twitter. The way the algorithm is over there, Elon Musk, all of his shit always pops up first, which I really don't like. But this is the first message that I see. So this Doge designer said first protests against Doge, then Tesla stores were attacked. Now X is down. Elon replied to it. Obviously there was more, and it was just basically saying that X is down, but it's not down because I can go and bring this up. But it says there was and still is a massive cyber attack against X. We get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved. Tracing. Now, that's one thing that's going to be, this is a good thing. Hear me out. This is a good and a bad thing, but it's a good thing for the people that this happened. Because when all these court cases were going down, a lot of judges were saying that they couldn't overrule or make any kind of judgments on this until they got more evidence. But if X is getting cyber attacked, this is good because some of these employees that work for Doge, the fake Department of Government Efficiency, they're working to slash everything. They got your tax information, they got all your PII. So this is actually good that they can use this as evidence to go and take into the courts. So let's go in here and read into what's actually going on. But this is a good thing. Hopefully you don't have any like personal information on X. Obviously, none of my social media has my real name on there. None of my social media goes off of a real email address. Like even like nothing is connected to none of my legit. Everything has its own. Like my Mod.j, that Gmail is just if people need to contact me, but it ain't got nothing personal on there. What's going on, Nina? So Elon Musk says X is facing massive cyber attack. Musk says X cyber attack was done with a lot of resources, suggests large coordinated group and or a country is involved. No, I don't think the country is involved. I think this is just you. Let's see what they got to say.
Imagine a place where your child's first steps into education are filled with curiosity, exploration, and joy.
Oh, what is this?
Welcome to Battery Park Montessori. A little Montessori created in the heart of Battery Park. Our school nurtures young minds to become compassionate global citizens.
If y'all got kids, man,
who care for their
they
community.
can be trilingual and they can learn Mandarin
Discover how your
just in
child
case
can
China
grow
takes
with us.
over, or they
Visit
can learn Spanish.
BatteryParkMontessori.com to learn
But when
more.
the Spanish become the majority.
The president says cabinet officers should play a bigger role in deciding who in their departments gets cut. He says they should go first in deciding which workers have to go, rather than waiting for orders from Elon Musk. Trump's not reining Elon in, oh no. He's streamlining DOGE to make the Department of Government Efficiency more efficient. It was a very necessary change. Too often, cabinet members had no knowledge of the changes Musk was proposing for their own departments. Too often, high-value workers had been let go, only to be rehired when the department head realized they had to stay. That created chaos, which could eventually have hurt the president politically. His approval rating remains strong, but nip the bad PR in the bud. Here's the president.
I want the cabinet members to keep good people. I don't want to see a big cut where a lot of good people are cut. I want the cabinet members to keep the good people, and the people that aren't doing a good job, that are unreliable, don't show up to work, et cetera, those people can be cut. So I had a meeting and I said, I want the cabinet members go first, keep all the people you want, everybody that you need. And it would be better if they were there for 2 years instead of 2 weeks, because in 2 years they'll know the people better. But I want them to do the best job they can.
The president's guarding against possible legal challenges to future job cuts. Some court rulings have objected to Musk issuing firing notices, but if the cabinet officer does it, there's no legal issue about who can hire and who can fire. The bottom line here is that the DOGE program will move forward more vigorously without territorial disputes and political embarrassment. As the president said, we say the scalpel rather than the hatchet.
Well, real quick, even like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The cabinet members aren't going to know who these employees are. The cabinet members, all the way at the very top, no one's going to know these 30, 40,000 people that they're firing. No one in the cabinet knows any of these people. Now, these are the department heads. But anyway, we're here for, I thought they were going to be talking about the hack, and I'm going to try to find an actual article about it. Let's see. Tech billionaire Elon Musk said that the social media platform he owns is facing a massive cyber attack. There still is a massive cyber attack against X. Musk, who is heading the Trump administration Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE wrote on X. See, this wasn't even nothing. This is the same thing. We get attacked every day, but this was done by a lot of resources, Musk said earlier. And either a large coordinated group or a country is involved. Elon and X. My Twitter finally. Well, it may have just been in the States. Over here, I ain't have no issues with it. Musk says that X is under a massive cyber attack as platform suffers multiple outages. Now this is good because I was just watching. I literally watched this weekend. We'll play that. We'll play that after. As platform suffers multiple outages, they're under a massive and sustained cyber attack as the social media platform suffered at least 3 outages across Monday. There still is a cyber attack against X. He posted on the platform. We get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. He was posting after the platform went dark in the very early hours of Los Angeles morning for about 45 minutes and dropped out again around 6:30 a.m. PT, Pacific Standard, for another 45 minutes. And then it started experiencing difficulties again around 8 a.m. The alleged cyber attack followed a raft of physical attacks on Tesla showrooms across Europe and in the US over the weekend. In the show of anti-Musk sentiment, far-right billionaire Musk has become a figure in the US and global politics following his support for President Donald Trump and the appointment as the head of the controversial Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which we need them to continue to say that he is in charge so we can sit his ass down for a deposition and make sure he doesn't get caught lying up under oath, which would be perjury. Now, obviously, there won't be any jail time because he'll be able to get a pardon, but you can still put those charges on him, and you can go ahead and start giving out fines, hit him in his pockets, because that's the only place that is really going to hurt someone like Elon. But it's aimed at cutting U.S. government jobs. Now, this is the tweet that we just had the screenshot of, and he keeps saying the same thing over there. The website downdetector.com noted a peak of 17,000 reports of X being down out of the U.S. in the first outage, followed by a peak of 40,000 for the second outage and 35,000 as of 10:23 a.m. in the latest ongoing incident. Elon Musk's social media platform X appeared to suffer 45-minute outage in some territories Monday. Hundreds of users of X, formerly known as Twitter, reported issues with loading the site and being greeted with the error message, "Something went wrong, try reloading." Problems were first reported around 1:30 a.m. Who was up at 1:30 a.m.? With the site then coming back online around 2:15, so they had about 45 minutes. Social media outage monitor Down Detector showed a spike in complaints around its time frame. The site was running as normal as of 1:15. There was no immediate explanation. Now, I'm gonna try to find. Oh, here we go. Someone named Anonymous. This is what happens when you lay off hundreds of highly trained, computer literate government employees. Now, you got your white and your black crimes that you can do when you're computer hacking. I think white crimes is just not white crime, but white hacking is just, you just doing it for a good cause. And the black hacking, and obviously whenever they mention black with something, it's supposed to be the evil, the bad one. But this happens when you lay off government employees just for LOLs and leave them with a grudge and a lot of time on their hands, especially when you fire all the people who actually keep the site running. Yeah, all these people saying the same thing, but here's what I wanted to play. Anonymous did a message to Elon years ago.
Hi, Chef John DeLucci here from Provisions Community. Today we are doing chicken.
This is a message from Anonymous. For Elon Musk, people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude who is desperate for attention. You have even prematurely crowned yourself Emperor of Mars. You may think you are the smartest person in the room, but now you have met your match. We are Anonymous. We are Legion.
Tesla and SpaceX, Elon, CEO, apparently threatened by Anonymous. Anonymous is a decentralized international hacktivist group. They accuse Musk of ruining lives with cryptocurrency games. Anonymous claimed that the car sales are not main source of Tesla's income. Obviously, is with Bitcoin, where he was putting money in there, going up and down. The hacktivist group claimed that Tesla sells carbon tax credit and enjoys government subsidies. We know about that. In the apparent threat, Anonymous asked Musk to expect them. Now, this is back in 2021. It kind of died down. But as things progress, they never actually leave.
The message from Anonymous, for Elon Musk. For the past several years you have enjoyed one of the most favorable reputations of anyone in the billionaire class, because you have tapped into the desire that many of us have to live in a world with electric cars and space exploration, but recently your carefully created public image is being exposed, and people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude who is desperate for attention. It appears that your quest to save the world is more rooted in a superiority and savior complex than it is in actual concern for humanity. This has been obvious to your employees for a long time, who have faced intolerable conditions under your command for years. It is also obvious to the young children working in your overseas lithium mines, which are destroying the local environment as well. You have been open about your willingness to stage coups in order to install dictators in places where your toxic products are being mined. You have even prematurely crowned yourself Emperor of Mars, a place where you will be sending people to die. Your fanboys overlook these issues because they are focused on the potential good that your projects can bring to the world, but you are not the only show in town, and your competition is growing more intense with each passing day. There are plenty of other companies working on space exploration and electric vehicles. You are just the only CEO who has gained a cult following through and trolling the world on social media. In fact, many people are now learning that the vast majority of Tesla's income doesn't actually come from selling cars, it comes from government subsidies, selling carbon tax credits for your innovation with clean energy. This technically isn't your innovation though, because you aren't actually the founder of Tesla, you simply purchased the company from two people much more intelligent than you are, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Tesla has also made more money holding Bitcoin for a few months than they did in years of selling cars. It is also more than likely that this Bitcoin was purchased with money from these government subsidies. It is now widely believed that you have been forced to denounce your company's involvement with Bitcoin in order to keep that green government money flowing into Tesla's coffers. The energy use argument about proof-of-work mining is a very nuanced conversation that requires a fairly complex understanding of how power grids work, and how excess energy is wasted by power companies, and sought out by crypto miners. This is a conversation that you have been having for over a year and were intimately aware of, but as soon as your main source of income was threatened you pretended to be clueless in an attempt to play both sides of the fence. Then, your move to create a Bitcoin miner council was rightly seen as an attempt to centralize the industry and take it under your control.
They were calling this out in 21, and guess what they just hosted? Some crypto convention. And obviously when Trump got in office, him, his wife, his son, they all launched their own meme coins. They were calling them out. So I'm to believe that they're gonna be on his ass for these next couple of years. They're about to start exposing him little by little. And obviously we already knew he was living off of government subsidies. So the whole crypto thing with Bitcoin, what he did was he would buy a lot of Bitcoin and watch it go up. He would sell his personal stocks, but he has so many of them in Tesla, sell them, put it in Bitcoin, and then boom, as it goes up. So that's where all the money is being made. But as you see, he had to stop that. But then he bought X, and he's been having this plan, because that was what, 22, 23? He's been having this plan. Fund the election, get Trump in there. Now Trump is doing everything he wants, but he's getting rid of everyone that oversees everything that has to do with SpaceX, with Tesla, cryptocurrency. He's trying to remove all of those people so he's able to go and do it, because Trump don't know what the hell is going on. Trump can't even make a complete sentence. And they were talking about how old Biden was. And we're watching this guy talking about everything is the greatest ever. He even said this week that, well, it's only Monday, but he said that border crossings have been more than 100% erased. Basically saying if it's 100%, that's zero. How can you be more than 100%? People going back on their own, but that's neither here nor there. We'll finish out what Anonymous has to say, and we'll see if there's any more current articles about this hacking.
Reading from the comments on your Twitter posts, it seems that the games you have played with the crypto markets have destroyed lives. Millions of retail investors were really counting on their crypto gains to improve their lives. This is something that you will never understand because you were born into the stolen wealth of a South African apartheid emerald mine and have no clue what struggle is like for most of the working people in the world. Of course, they took the risk upon themselves when they invested, and everyone knows to be prepared for volatility in crypto, but your tweets this week show a clear disregard for the average working person. As hardworking people have their dreams liquidated over your public temper tantrums, you continue to mock them with memes from one of your million-dollar mansions. You may think you are the smartest person in the room, but now you have met your match. We are anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us.
That was anonymous from 2021. Let me see something. Let me look at one more thing. The orange man child. Musk is the shadow man. Hey, man, when you got that money, man, they basically bought America, man. They bought America. What? Hold on. We'll go into that next. Elon Musk claimed X is a massive victim. Tens of thousands of users reported outages. Musk, who bought the site known as Twitter in 22, so this is 1 year after Anonymous. We get hacked every day. This is a large one. All right, so none of this is really saying anything different. So that's pretty much it there. We actually got some. X is being hacked, and we're going to see if anything else is getting hacked. But we do have some breaking news. I guess it's happening right now. Let me go ahead over to this. Oh, that crash. Let me see. Oil tanker crash live. Hell, there was another plane crash this weekend too. In the North Sea. All right. Where did it click off? Oil tanker crash live. Ships carrying jet fuel and sodium cyanide collide in the North Sea. The collision between the Stena Immaculate tanker and So Long container ship took place in the North Sea near Hull shortly after 10 a.m. Monday morning. A container ship carrying toxic sodium cyanide crashed into an oil tanker transporting jet fuel to the U.S. military in the North Sea on Monday, sparking multiple explosions in what the UK government described as an extremely concerning situation. How the hell did these two collide into each other? An oil tanker transporting jet fuel to U.S. military in the North Sea. Lifeboats and Coast Guard helicopters were called to the collision just before 10 a.m. near the entrance of the Humber estuary off the East Yorkshire coast. The vessels involved were a Portuguese container ship called the MV So Long. That's wild. And the U.S. flag tanker MV Stena Immaculate, which was on a short-term charter to the U.S. Navy's military Sea Lift Command. 38 people across both vessels were believed to be accounted for, with one in hospital. According to the Times citing government sources, one crew member of the So Long was unaccounted for. The So Long vessel was carrying 15 containers of sodium cyanide, among other cargo. According to a report from the maritime data provider Lloyd's List Intelligence, the Stena Immaculate spilled some jet fuel into the water after sustaining a ruptured cargo tank, according to the U.S. logistics group Cronley, which manages the vessel. HM Coast Guards has said it was assessing the likely counter pollution response required. Now, I wonder how much jet fuel fell in the water, though. Martin Boyers, chief executive of Port Grimsey East, said it had been told there was a massive fireball after the crash. Two maritime security sources at Rutgers News agency, there was no indication of any malicious intent. Well, let me see something. Here you guys go, a little bit of sodium cyanide. Now, this right here is your CDC. You got to look this up, and this actually, I'm gonna get into a little bit of bio work for you guys. So you got a NIOSH pocket guide. So sodium cyanide would be in your NIOSH. This right here, this is like your Bible. When you get into bioenvironmental, the NIOSH pocket guide. This right here has almost every chemical made. You get you in here, get you a little NIOSH pocket guide. That's what this is actually taking us to right here. So we're gonna see what sodium cyanide is. So when you go into this, the pocket guide, you just look it up by name, but then it gives you like the exposures, the descriptions of it. It tells you how to clean it, how to remove it, what it would do, what target organs it's going to affect. Yeah, so that's what this is, the NIOSH pocket guide here. This book right here is very, very important. So when we go to the appearance, a white crystalline or granular powder, sodium cyanide releases hydrogen cyanide gas, a highly toxic chemical efficient that interferes with the body's ability to use oxygen. Exposure to sodium cyanide can rapidly be fatal. It has whole body systematic effects, particularly affecting those organ systems most sensitive to low oxygen levels: the central nervous system, the brain, the cardiovascular system, the heart and blood vessels, the pulmonary system, your lungs. Sodium cyanide is used commercially for fumigation, electroplating, extracting gold and silver from ores, and chemical manufacturing. Hydrogen cyanide gas released by sodium cyanide has a distinctive bitter almond odor, described as musty old sneaker smell. Now, when we do your gas mask, we don't have, obviously, we're not using no damn sodium cyanide, but we do have something similar to it. So before you put on your gas mask, we make you smell it. Woo, it give you a little kick, but then you put your mask on. And then once you put your mask on, we go around the room and we squirt it in the air. And if you can smell it through your mask, that means obviously you don't have a seal on. Your seal isn't all the way tight. But you can wear a beard. You can't wear a full beard like this, but you can wear a gas mask with a full beard like this. Any respirator, you probably want to cut it down a little bit, or you want to do supplied air where you got to go over your whole face, put a suit on up to the neck, then you put a whole suit on and you have air pumped into you off of a little machine. I mean, you could probably do it with a SCBA, but that'd be too much. But anyway, so then I'm just showing you guys, I don't know, man, it's just bringing back memories, you know what I mean? So it can affect you through ingestion, inhalation, skin contact, or eye contact. Then it tells you, well, obviously, you don't want to get on your skin. Irritation to your skin, tissue damage. You got to get it off. Burning sensation and pain. Inhalation. Oh, yeah. The severe right here. This is where it gets you. Eye exposure. Obviously, you need to go over to an eye wash station. You want to rinse for 30 seconds. Remove your face. Then you want to go back in. You don't want to pat your face after the first 30 seconds. You want to go back in and get that second doses of water in there and get it out of there. But anyway. See, here you go. Immediately wash out the eyes, large amounts of water, at least 15 minutes. That's what say that first 30 seconds, you go up under, then you see how it feel. But if not, you're going to get your ass back up under there. You're going to stay up under there. And, you know, I only had to use the eye wash station one time. But yeah, so that's just 4.5, 4.7 parts per million. It's non-combustible, though. There you go. So they ain't going to blow up on your ass. All right, anyway. Well, I just wanted to, let me see if there's a video.
start the bidding at 5.
Robinhood Gold members get an IRA transfer boost of 2%.
Oh, was it right off the coast?
This is the story of the one who knows that with a teammate like Granger, she will always win the day. Call.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the actual. I mean, this ain't giving us no information. My bad, guy. I'm trying to. Maybe this will show us something.
Breaking news, a rescue mission is underway after a U.S. oil tanker and Portuguese cargo ship collided off the coast of England. Now the oil tanker is on fire and the British Coast Guard is on the scene. Let's bring in foreign correspondent Marcus Moore in London with the latest on that story. Marcus, what are you following on this collision?
Well, Diane, this urgent rescue effort is underway as we speak right now off the UK's eastern coast. As you just mentioned, a U.S. flagged oil tanker and a Portuguese container ship collided. And we've seen some images that show what appears to be two vessels on fire and thick black smoke billowing into the air. We're working to get verified pictures turned around so we can show them to you. But this is happening just a few miles off the coast of Hull in eastern England. Right now, Diane, we don't know if there have been any injuries. We do know, however, that at least 30 people have been rescued and no information at this point on how these ships may have collided. But we know that the Coast Guard has sent a rescue boat, at least one helicopter and a plane to the scene, which is about 4 hours from London in a car. And we'll continue to follow this and get any new developments as we get them. We'll, of course, pass them along to you, Diane.
Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore, thank you.
All right, well, they ain't really giving us no information. I was trying to see where. I know it said it had jet fuel, but I want to know what base was it going to. That's something I'm definitely gonna be looking up tomorrow. Oh, here we go.
If you're only maxing out a 401k, you could add a Robinhood IRA with a 3% contribution.
An oil tanker has burst into flames after being struck by a cargo ship off the UK coast. Reportedly carrying a full load of jet fuel, was hit by the Portugal-flagged Solon cargo vessel just before 10 a.m. Crew members abandoned both ships as the fire took hold. Thick black smoke is now billowing across the horizon as emergency teams battle to contain the blaze in the Humber estuary. The UK Coast Guard has deployed helicopters, lifeboats, and firefighting vessels in the desperate rescue operation. This is a breaking story, and updates will follow as the situation unfolds.
All right, well, there we go, I guess. Oil tanker then goddamn crash, man. All right, man. Next, we're going to talk about the little kid, little DJ Daniel. Trying to find. All right, so here goes. Let me see. 5. All right, so this young man, his name is DJ Daniel. He's a cancer survivor. I think he said he had 13 different brain surgeries on him, and he just recently got a honorary Secret Service from Donald Trump. But a lot of people, they were like, okay, that's good. But then some of us were reading between the lines and they were really just using this as a political pawn. And they were using this young man, which is, if you really think about it, that's, come on, man. Using the young black kid to make it seem like, oh, he loves Trump. And it's all weird stuff what they're doing. But we're going to take it back. So this young man always wanted to be a police officer. He was getting teased. And we'll just go through the timeline to where we are right now with him. Trump honors 13-year-old boy as an honorary Secret Service agent after he was made fun of. So this is them making fun of the young man.
Arrest her! Well, I bet you can't arrest me. You too cocky.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
So they made fun of him. He got an honorary Secret Service badge.
Good looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you, a big hug.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh? Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right? Yes, it was. That was a big evening. What a good looking family.
The sad thing is, the kids that were around his age, he took out that damn whole page article talking about that they needed to be hung. So we know what this man is doing. He got that Gulf of America back there. It's not an achievement. No one recognizes it besides the Republicans. It's still the Gulf of Mexico. But this young man, he survived cancer. And of course, you know, he's appreciative. This is the biggest moment of his life. You know, he's a survivor. He always wanted to be a police officer. So he gets an honorary badge. But the problem is where it goes from there.
What you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said stop playing with me, and I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm going to keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's going to call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
And you look at how they cut that off, he wouldn't be here today to receive this Secret Service. He wouldn't be here today, like as far as being alive. You see what I'm saying? How they cut that off right there? But that's what the rest of the conversation was going to be. I wouldn't be here to receive this honorary Secret Service. But they cut it off to make it seem like Trump saved this young man's life. Now, from there, it gets even weirder.
DJ Daniel, the young man who was honored by Donald Trump, making him a Secret Service agent at the joint address to Congress, is going viral for this interview, and I'm sure you can understand why.
Can I call you officer or agent, DJ Daniel, all of the above?
It really don't matter to me. I love women, so I don't care.
That's amazing. DJ Daniel, I want to ask you, first and foremost, do you love President Trump? And are you so excited to be here on the White House grounds?
Obviously, because I gave him a great note that says Donald Trump is the best president of the United States of America.
And why do you feel that way?
Because honestly, I honestly wanted to see Donald Trump in real life, and now it's actually came true.
Last thing, because we know you got to bounce. What would your one piece of advice for the Secret Service be?
Please stop being mean to President Trump, because if I see you being mean to him, I'm coming after you.
I love that. I think you need to become the director of the Secret Service. DJ, it is such an honor to have met you. What? He has one more thing to say. I won't interrupt you.
If you're a Democrat and you're being mean to President Trump, I'm on your bumper.
How about that, Steve? I think we found my replacement, your replacement.
Thank you.
Would you ever run for president?
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit too young. Well, really and truly, I'm not young. I'm a 13. I'm a 50-year-old trapped in a 50-year-old body. I might look 13, but I'm 50.
DJ Daniels, so amazing.
I just
Absolutely
realized
incredible.
that that's the first
Thank
time I
you.
ever shake the woman's hand.
And I don't know if this is him saying this or this is people like telling them to say this stuff. It is funny, but now I see why kids were picking on him. Now, I don't want anybody to get picked on, but we all got picked on. But after hearing all this, if you're a Democrat, I'm on your bumper. Nigga, shut up. We don't care that you a kid. You an honorary Secret Service member. That means we can talk shit to you, man. But I really don't know. He's 13. You know, I'm glad that he did survive, and he is a kid. I just don't like that they're using this young man. That's my whole thing. He doesn't know anything about politics or anything. Yeah, he could assume that Donald Trump is the best president because this is the only president he probably ever met. You know what I mean? And prior to this, what, Biden? So what, 12, 13? But I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know what they're doing with it. Hopefully this young man, you know, he can live the rest of his life, but he's probably going to look back on this and realize like, man, damn, they were using me. They played me. They played me the whole way. I think there was one more thing. I think, was there one more? I think that may have been it. Let me see. DJ Daniel. Yeah, it's pretty much it there. I just seen that last week. I didn't get to it because obviously I was getting ready for the premiere. But yeah, man, they just using this guy, man. They just using this kid. You had the dad up there. Oh, you're such. It was a good one last night, man. He didn't even talk about nothing. When he was addressing everybody, he didn't even talk about nothing. He was just up there just yapping. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But hit that like button for me. If y'all got some topics, I really didn't have much, especially coming off of the weekend, but that's young DJ Daniel. He said he was a 13-year-old, a 50-year-old trapped in a 13-year-old's body, man. It is a unique individual. Oh, Caleb Wilson. Oh yeah, they did just. I got to do a follow. Let me, Caleb. I'm thinking, did I count? Because they said that the young man changed his clothes. Arrest warrant is expected soon. Let me see. All right, here we go. It's 2 days ago right there. Well, let me see. We might do that. That's live. All right. So this is a follow-up for Caleb Wilson. I did a video last week. He's a young man who he pledged a fraternity, and then he ended up passing away from a hazing. Now, initially, they said that this young man passed out in a park from running and exercising, but it came out that this wasn't true. He actually died inside of a warehouse, and it was proven that he was punched in the chest prior to this happening. Now, there's been an arrest made by one of his frat brothers, and also the story is that he actually changed Caleb Wilson's clothes before they took him to the hospital. Now, I'm not sure what he was actually wearing, but he may have just been like some shorts and a white beater. And, you know, it's cold this time of year, so it could have been a lot of factors. But we'll play this video and we'll see what exactly they're talking about now, because they said 1 of 3 men are arrested. Let me see. We'll play this one.
I never thought I would develop shingles. I was wrong. I didn't know that 99%.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox 813 on the East Coast and 513 on the West Coast. 1 arrest made and at least 2 more are expected in connection with the death of a 20-year-old Southern University student after an off-campus fraternity hazing ritual. That is according to Baton Rouge police, and that is the victim right there on your screen. We know from officials, they said, quote, Caleb Wilson died as a direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging. Fraternity member Caleb McRae, 23 years old, arrested Thursday evening and faces charges of manslaughter and felony criminal hazing in the death of Wilson, a mechanical engineering junior at the school who died in late February. Baton Rouge police providing a news conference here where they did give some more information about the arrest and the situation in general.
Over the past several days, detectives with our Baton Rouge Police Department have been working tirelessly around the clock and with cooperation from the District Attorney's Office and leadership at Southern University to bring some answers to the family and loved ones of band member and engineering student Caleb Wilson. Detectives have interviewed over a dozen people and executed multiple search warrants to gather as much information as possible. As many of you know, Baton Rouge Police Department was first made aware of the death of Caleb Wilson by medical staff at Baton Rouge General Hospital on February 26th around 2:40 a.m. Initial reports indicated that Caleb Wilson was dropped off at the emergency room by a group of males that stated he collapsed while playing basketball at a rec park located at 3140 North Sherwood Forest Boulevard. All of those subjects left prior to officers' arrival. Through diligent efforts during their investigatory process, BRPD detectives uncovered that the location reported initially was not accurate, and that the alleged incident, in fact, occurred at a warehouse located at 3412 Woodcrest Drive. And Caleb Wilson died as the direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging to Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
And see, that was always one of my things. Of course, I didn't go to college long enough to do any pledging or anything, but me personally, I would never pledge. That was never anything that crossed my mind as I thought was cool. Like, nothing against anybody that's in fraternities or sororities, but that was never something that crossed my mind. Like other people my age telling me what to do, like no, I'm not here for all of that. I never thought that was something that I would do, and I would never do it. Like, I know you have its perks. You're building a brotherhood, and when you go out to get jobs and stuff, you have these people you can lean on that'll help you get to spaces. But for me, that was never anything that I wanted to do, man. I couldn't just sit there and let somebody chump me. Like, look at this dude, Caleb McRae. I promise you, if he would have hit me in my chest or something that night, I would have caught him slipping, or I would have been up in his room whooping his ass. He would have been asleep, or I would have caught him walking with a girl or something and whooped his ass in front of her. I would have hit him upside his head with something. I wouldn't be able to go through none of that. Like, the hazing is all right. You know, you making us do goofy shit, cool. I'm not doing no, like, man, I don't know, man. And that shit just sucks. Because this young man, he was actually doing something. Like Toria said, he was in the marching band. He was an engineer. This young man was educated. And he was trying to do something to further himself and his career, only for it to get cut short because this nigga wanted to goddamn punch people in the chest. Like, what are we doing that we got to get punched in the chest? You can punch somebody in the arm or something, but in the nigga's chest? Come on, man. That's just stupid to me, man. I don't know, man.
Through further investigation, BRPD detectives developed several suspects involved in the incident. This is still an active and ongoing investigation, so additional warrants and persons involved cannot be ruled out at this time. Last night, one of the suspects, Caleb McRae, turned himself in with his attorney and was booked into East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. McRae has been charged with criminal hazing and manslaughter. Again, this is still an active and ongoing investigation with more arrests forthcoming. We'll be updating the media and the community as these arrests occur. I ask that you all continue to keep this family in your prayers as our Baton Rouge Police Department continues to investigate and try to bring answers to this family about what happened to Caleb and arrest those that are responsible. Thank you. I'm gonna have the Mayor President step up and give a few remarks. Mayor.
Good morning. I echo the chief. These are days and times that we don't want to have to deal with. I was blessed to meet the family. Had a private meeting with Caleb's mom, dad, grandma, and uncle. One of too many meetings I've had since I've been in office with young people that we're losing way too soon. The main message I want to put is from the mayor's office and the city of Baton Rouge's prayers for the family during this time. I want to thank Southern University, the chief, the district attorney, and everyone involved for their hard work. You know, my message to Baton Rouge is we got to do better, Baton Rouge. We got to do better. We feel like sometimes we take one step forward and two steps back. It's a sad day to use such a promising young life. And I encourage all the young people out there to make better decisions. So here again, we hate having these family meetings. We got to do better, Baton Rouge. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dennis Shields, and I serve as the president of Southern University System. Words cannot express how deeply saddened we are by the loss of our student, Caleb Wilson. Our collective thoughts and prayers continue to be with Caleb's family, friends, classmates, and all who knew and loved him. Southern University is very much appreciative of the efforts of the Baton Rouge Police Department under the leadership of Chief Morse.
First on the with Channel 9, can you guys say how many additional people could potentially be arrested? We're hearing conflicting reports, as many as 3 individuals, possibly more. Do you guys have a number of how many people cooperated?
Yeah, so let me first say I too have seen a lot of conflicting reports out there, none of which are coming from the Baton Rouge Police Department. So please get all of your news straight from us and wait for our official statements. Right now, we have 2 additional suspects that we are drawing up warrants for and working with their attorneys to turn themselves in later today. As that happens, we will update everyone on those arrests as well. But right now, this is still an ongoing investigation. There may be more suspects, but right now we have 2 that we are drawing up warrants for.
Can you talk about the collaboration? You said you guys interviewed a number of individuals. Were those individuals pledges, or were they actually the individuals?
So I'm not going to give any information about the people that we interviewed, but the people that we did interview led us to this point where we were able to get the information to make these arrests.
Chris Joseph with Fox 8 New Orleans. Can you speak about the decision making on the charges, perhaps why these aren't second-degree murder?
Yeah, so good question. In the state of Louisiana, we have 5 degrees of homicide. We have first degree of murder, first degree homicide, second degree homicide, manslaughter, negligent homicide, and vehicular homicide. In this case, manslaughter is the most appropriate charge in the state of Louisiana, being that there is no proof that we could come up with a specific intent to kill, but that the death was caused in direct relation to another felony that was being committed during that death, and that felony being the act of criminal hazing.
Related to those two other potential suspects, or maybe anybody else, do we have any reason to believe more than one individual laid hands on Wilson during the incident?
All of that is still pending. Some more questions that are being happened. Like I said, we've done over a dozen interviews. More are coming as we continue to interview people. We might have some more information. We might have further charges on further people.
Kind of a follow-up. Do you know how many people were at the event?
We do, but we're not ready to release that right now.
Anybody else? Could you elaborate on how long the delay from the original incident to able to actually arrive?
Yeah, so that's all part of our investigation, and has gone into why we the charges that we have done. Don't have the exact timeline that we're ready to release as far as when Caleb first collapsed at this warehouse and then when he arrived at the hospital. All of that.
So they say there's two other guys, but this guy Caleb, both of them are Caleb, but this guy Caleb McRae, he turned himself in, and then the other two, they haven't turned themselves in. I haven't seen any articles or anything with like an update. So I guess they just still out and about. Let me see. Yeah, so the other two, they're just out and about, and we don't know where the hell they are. Then this is the other Caleb that's locked up. Yeah, they haven't released their names. They haven't apprehended them, but this guy turned himself in. So I don't know what the other two are doing. If I think he's the one that delivered the blow. I think the other two are probably they're probably more than likely waiting on a lawyer, because if this happened while they were doing the hazing, that means the other people that were there getting hazed, they're all getting interviewed. Everyone's getting interviewed for this. You know, they didn't already told who the other guys are. That's why they haven't released the names. I guess they were trying to give them a chance to turn themselves in, because it isn't murder. They're giving them manslaughter. That's what they're charging them with, manslaughter. Which I think you should get at least 20 years minimum mandatory. Like something like that, of that nature. Yeah, it's manslaughter. You didn't mean for it to happen, but come on, man. Hazing is already illegal anyway. And you probably punched them multiple times. So that should be like a 20-year sentence. I know it sounds harsh, but man, you took someone's life. Yeah, man, that's yeah, I didn't like when I was reading this article, man, because that young man, he was an engineer and he was in the band. So, you know, he was on scholarship. He's doing it for his family. Yeah, they said they changed his clothes. Let me see if I can find
that. Is still kind of pending some questions that we're trying to follow up on. What I can say is that at no time did anyone call 911, attempt to call 911, or try to summon an ambulance to the warehouse to give him medical aid.
And the second thing, could we know, is there any implication for Todd Smith, the part owner of the warehouse within?
Not right now. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any charges coming for the individuals that made up the story about Lee Park?
So again, all of that is kind of in investigation process. There is no specific statute for lying, right? There are some things that we're looking at as far as maybe obstruction or other things, but that's still things that we're working through as we're gathering some more evidence and continue to investigate and ask questions.
How many people do you say might face charges?
Not sure right now.
Has there been a warrant already look at her?
Yeah, so we one of the warrants that we did conduct was at the warehouse, and this was a week ago, more than a week ago, before anybody else really knew that the warehouse even existed. We had already performed a search warrant and tried and gathered evidence there. What evidence we gathered, again, I'm not ready to discuss, but we were able to get some evidence at the warehouse.
Two questions. First question, I'm Andre Shapiro with Unfiltered with Kieran.
Yes, sir.
First question, what's your message to the other college students?
Yeah, so this is a very serious incident, very serious law that I think is a good law for criminal hazing that people need to make sure that they're paying attention to. You can hear just from the administrative point of view, from Southern's leadership, and LSU would have the same kind of statements. But from our law enforcement side, we are going to enforce these laws whenever they're applicable and whenever it comes to our attention. And it is a felony charge.
Second is real quick for Taylor Moore. How does Max Gruber Act help in this case?
So it's one that we're going to consider because in the Max Gruber law, which is hazing, so it incorporates not only misdemeanor hazing, act of regular hazing, but also when hazing involves a great bodily injury or death, there is a felony component to hazing, and it carries up to 5 years. So that is a potential. However, in this case, at this point, at least one defendant was charged with misdemeanor hazing plus the felony manslaughter. Felony manslaughter is whenever a direct battery or a misdemeanor against the person is committed, and because of that, someone dies. That is a punch, and someone dies, it carries up to 40 years. There's also the potential of a negligent homicide. So it really depends on how the facts play out. And so in this case, the potential would be, again, it's ongoing. And, thanks again to the cooperation of Baton Rouge Police, but particularly to Southern University. I've been through a lot of hazing cases before, and I think I've probably had 40 phone calls with Chancellor Pierre and their office providing information to us to give to the police department. That's a very good cooperation. So it's possible, with all the other questions that you guys have asked, this case could go to the grand jury just to see what other things are out there. How did it get formed? Is this the first time it's ever happened? Why at this location? Who knew what? Who reported as quickly as they can? There are several penalties in the Max Gruber violation for the institutions as well, not necessarily the Southern University, but the corporate chapter. So there are a lot of things that are possibilities. It just depends.
You already know they about to hit that chapter across their head. They're gonna probably get like 500,000. They're gonna probably be shut down for like a year, 2 years. They can't have nothing on the campus. I don't even know who they got the warehouse from. They ain't telling us where the warehouse is, but they about to drop the hammer on them because they definitely don't want this to happen ever again, let alone down here in Texas.
Depends on who comes forward and what information that we're provided and able to prove. So that's our possibility.
One last question.
Dr. Shields, if possible. I know there's a student judiciary process, but are any of these students possibly facing expulsion?
Certainly that is a possible outcome, but we need to follow our due process rights, give the students notice that they're being accused of being outside of the code of conduct regulations, and we want to follow those rules, regulations, and due process. They have every right to that. So yes, the expulsion is one of the things that could happen. Also, that's a possibility for the Greek organization.
I told you they definitely about to attack the organization. All right, so here goes the article that goes a little more in depth on CNN. One arrested, more suspects sought after Southern University fraternity hazing death. Now I'm just trying to get into the details because we pretty much heard most of it. One arrest has been made, and at least 2 more are expected in connection with the death of a 20-year-old Southern University student after an off-campus fraternity hazing ritual. Baton Rouge authorities announced Caleb passed as a direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging Omega Psi Phi fraternity. The police department told reporters fraternity member Caleb McCrae, 23, was arrested Thursday evening and faces charges of manslaughter, felony criminal hazing, and death of Wilson, a mechanical engineering junior at the school who died in late February. He only had 2 years left, too. This is his last semester before his senior year. Damn. Wilson and 8 others pledging the fraternity were punched by McCrae and at least 2 other individuals wearing boxing gloves, according to a police arrest affidavit reviewed by the Associated Press. So these fools had on boxing gloves and were punching people that were probably not prepared for the punch, probably relaxed, probably caught off guard, probably tired from doing push-ups or some other bullshit, and they are punching them as hard as they can in their chest with boxing gloves on. Just because you got a boxing glove on doesn't mean the punch is going to be any softer. We seen boxers, trained boxers, get killed in the ring by getting punched with a damn glove. So it was 8 others down there and 3 people at least doing the hazing. After McCray punched Wilson 4 times in the chest, Wilson collapsed to the floor, becoming unresponsive. The affidavit states Wilson appeared to suffer a seizure and lose control of his bodily function. No signs of trauma were found on Wilson's body except for a small bruise on the right side of his chest. It's over here. Damn, I wonder what the hell he hit. The coroner's office was awaiting the results of additional testing, but didn't know when those would be complete. McCray had no intention to cause death or greatly bodily harm to Wilson, the police affidavit states. McCray attorney Philip Robinson said the client deserved due process. I maintain my client's innocent and urge the public to withhold rushing to judgment until all evidence is heard. Yeah, we're not holding no judgment. This nigga punched this young man in the chest with a damn fucking boxing glove on and killed this boy. We're not withholding any judgment. We judging him. Lock his ass up. McCray and his family declined to comment. Well, if you want us to withhold judgment, then you need to comment so we can see what you got to say about it. So, okay, we won't judge you. Okay, it was an accident, but we know it wasn't an accident because you punched everybody multiple times. Southern University suspends fraternity and pledging. Wilson was initially brought to a hospital by a group of men who falsely said that he had collapsed while playing basketball at a park, but in fact had suffered injuries at a flooring company warehouse. So it was a flooring company warehouse. The group left before police arrived at the hospital, and no one contacted 911 at any point. They changed Wilson's clothing before bringing him to the hospital, the affidavit states. In Louisiana, hazing can become a felony under the Max Groover Act, which passed in 2018, was named after Louisiana State University student who died of alcohol poisoning after hazing by Delta Theta fraternity house. Under the act, if a person being hazed dies or is seriously injured, violators face up to a $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. Organizations, representatives, and officers of organizations and educational institutions can also face penalties. So up to 10,000, give them the 10,000 max, give them the 5 years max. Omega Psi Phi could face civil penalties under the act, East Baton Rouge District Attorney Hiller Morris said. The fraternity's campus chapter has been ordered to cease all activities, and students involved in Wilson's death could face expulsion, Southern University President Dennis Shields told reporters. All campus Greek life organizations are barred from taking any additional members through the remainder of the academic year, he added. So all the Greeks are suffering from this incident. Cease all activities. So if you were pledging, you had to start all over. Can't bring in anybody new. To those that did pledge, they need to go ahead and just push them through. Once this is over and lifted, they don't need to go through nothing else. They need to be in the frat. Dallas Thompson, a spokesperson for Omega Psi Phi fraternity, said the organization is saddened by the tragic situation at Southern University and is committed to cooperating with and supporting all ongoing investigations to uncover the truth. What up, Kendall? Corey Wilson mourns along other grieving family members during a vigil for Caleb Wilson outside Southern University. Smith Brown Student Union. It's just unnecessary. But I could never see me going in here and letting some niggas tell me what I can and can't do. And I'm not getting paid from this just to be cool, just to be in, man, I'd be on my own, man. The hell with it. Among Caleb Wilson's passions was music. He played the trumpet for the university's famous marching band known as the Human Jukebox, which recently performed at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. In a post on Facebook, the band wrote that the members carry Wilson's spirit with every step and every note. This was more than just a performance, the post read. It was a tribute, a farewell, and a promise that Caleb's legacy will live on. Damn. Ain't that something? This nigga 23, man. You too old to still be in there, man. What was he doing at 23? What was he doing? You're not even. Where do you go? 18 to 21, 18, 22? What was this old ass nigga Caleb McRae doing there? He must be an alum. Well, it said fraternity member, so he must be an alum or he graduated late. Oh, alums joining? Oh man, see, them old niggas come in there, man. I'm telling you, man. I joke around a lot, but I promise you one thing. If I felt like I was disrespected or something in there, I promise I'm getting somebody. I don't care what nobody talk about. Oh, Mo, you don't get done. I'm getting revenge on somebody. I'm catching somebody in it. Don't let it be a sports player. Don't let it be an athlete. If it's an athlete doing the hazing, I guarantee you I'm ruining your life. I am tearing your knee up. I don't care how I got to do it. I don't care if y'all jump me and whoop my ass. But if I feel disrespected and it's a student athlete, I guarantee you won't be finishing the school year all playing sports because I'm coming after you. This right, I didn't like when I did this article. This is most of the time, you know, I watch it. I really don't have any feelings or anything about. But I was like, man, that's messed up. This young man was trying to do something with his life. He wasn't into it with nothing. He was at the Super Bowl. Just sad, man. Hopefully they get the other two. Hopefully they get the other two very, very quickly. Get their ass, bring them on in. His brothers, his line brothers, they need to go ahead and tell the police everything, man. All that snitching and all that, get that out of here. Go tell everything y'all know. Get both of them off the streets. And the crazy thing is, he can't even, this dude McRae probably can't even afford the $10,000 fine they're going to give his dumb ass. Give him that fine, lock his ass up. Yeah, well, that's an update on Caleb Wilson. 3 suspects, 1 is apprehended. We don't know what the other 2 are doing. I guess they're waiting to turn themselves in. I'm trying to see if we can find any. Oh, man. So, all right, hold on. Here goes a little more information about him on the New York Post. Southern University grad, so you did graduate, arrested for delivering fatal punches in violent frat hazing a 20-year-old pledge. I thought it said that he was in the army or something. All right, so that's what we already read. Southern University, Louisiana graduate, been charged and turned himself in, continue without supporting. Caleb McRae turned himself in with his attorney and was booked in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. McRae is a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity that Wilson 20 attempted to join when he was killed. He graduated from Southern University December 2024. So he just graduated 2 months ago and is a Louisiana Army National Guard member. Not anymore. So he just graduated 2 months. He was released from prison on Friday after making a $75,000 bond. They indicated that McRae and the other 2 unidentified suspects could face additional charges for lying to police. A group of students dropped Wilson off at a hospital and allegedly told the staff he had collapsed after being struck in the chest with a basketball. Suspicions of their explanation, hospital officials contacted the police, but the fraternity brothers fled before cops arrived. An investigation determined the men had never been at a local park playing ball, as they said, but were instead in a warehouse carrying out a violent hazing ritual on non-pledges. McCrae and at least two others wore boxing gloves and reportedly struck the victims, with McCrae allegedly striking Wilson 4 times in the chest. Wilson collapsed, suffered a seizure, and lost control of his bodily functions, according to the affidavit. Yeah, he played the trumpet too, man. Here we go. The fraternity brothers allegedly swapped the gray sweatpants Wilson was wearing, which all the pledges were made to wear, for a black pair before rushing him to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. They emphasized that Wilson died as a direct result of a hazing incident. An autopsy later revealed that Wilson suffered no significant trauma to his body aside for the small bruise on the right side of his chest. All right, so yeah, this is all that we went over. The charges brought against Mr. Caleb McCrae are serious, and we acknowledge the gravity of this matter. However, it is essential to remember that the accusation is not proof of guilt at this time. I have not been presented with any evidence to support such serious accusations. I maintain my client is innocent and urge the public to withhold rushing to judgment. Well, let me tell you something. If this isn't proof of guilt, then why you turn yourself in? If I ain't do nothing, I ain't turning myself in. Get you a warrant and come and get me. If I didn't do anything, I'm not turning myself in. I'm not about to go pay a bond for something I didn't do. No, I'm gonna get with my lawyer, and we didn't do anything after the investigation go down. But if you turning yourself in, then you had something to do with this, because I'm not turning myself in if I ain't do nothing. I'm with you in there. I'm judging completely. I mean, this nigga's guilty. He needs that $10,000 and that 5 years plus lying to the police. So go ahead and give him 7 years. Well, they'll probably do it concurrently. So, yeah, well, hopefully they get justice for this young man, because he definitely did not deserve this at all. He did not deserve this at all. If that was my son, I mean, I don't know, man. Even thinking logically, I know you say you want to do something, but I guess until I would have to be level-headed until I found out. Like, I'd have to get all the evidence. I mean, of course, I'm already, like I said, I'm judging this guy here. He turned himself in. And if the police are saying all this, but I know I'm not about to make any moves or anything as of right now. It's just too hot. It's just, I don't know. I'm not, because you still got your family and everything. And if me as a father, we lost our son, it wouldn't do any good for the family to lose their father, even if I'm just detained for like a weekend or like a week or something for attacking this man. So obviously, you know, you had that hurt and you would want to do something, but younger me, I probably wild out. But now I'm thinking a little bit logically, like I wouldn't be able to leave my wife and any of my other kids by trying to harm this guy, and I get locked up and I'm away from the family. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't make any sense, especially going through this, because that means I'd miss out on my son's funeral. I'd miss out on being around all my family members, miss out on the support from all my family members, and they got to talk to me while I'm in jail being held. Obviously, it'll probably get, you know, no jury is going to be like, hey, that father is guilty of doing anything, but still, that's time away from the family, especially when this is so fresh. So I wouldn't do anything irrational or make like any crazy moves. Obviously, I get a lawyer. I tried to get a lawsuit against the school. I get a lawsuit against the fraternity. Definitely, I would sue this gentleman once we get all the information, but really that's all I could do in a situation. Like, I'd be hurt, I'd be pissed, I'd want to hurt this guy, but it'd just take another family member away from the family at a time we don't need that. Because I don't know if you guys ever been like planning a funeral and everything. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of things you got to do, and it's going to take all your attention. That's why they give you so much time off from work if you had a good job. But a decent job, they give you the time off because it's a lot. It's not like you can just go get everything done in a day. It literally takes a week for a proper burial, 2 weeks sometimes. You got to coordinate with family members coming in. You got your parents if they aren't in this state. You got a lot of stuff going on. So obviously you don't want to take away from your own family, because this is, it's still a celebration for Mr. Wilson, even though he passed. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, man. It really does, man. But I wouldn't do anything, man. I'd be at home with my family, and I'd be with a lawyer. I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'll do one more. Oh, we'll do two more because I wanted to talk about this police officer, and then there's a new case with Diddy, Drewski, Odell Beckham. Let me see. All right. In the Diddy saga, it continues to go on. In the beginning, we were like, damn, Diddy is locked up. Now hey, Diddy's locked up. No one even thinks about Diddy. But whenever you hear Diddy's name, it's never anything good attached to it anymore. Diddy is just, when you hear that, you automatically think a new lawsuit. You just think of jail time, and you don't even think about like music or anything no more when it comes to his name. Well, there was another lawsuit that was been dropped. And it's on Drewski, Odell Beckham Jr. They deny the Diddy R-word lawsuit. Police call claims unfounded. Pretty much someone accused these other two gentlemen of something that happened while they was over at Diddy's house. Now, this happened in 2018. Drewski wasn't even famous in 2018. But this is just what they got going on here, man. Let me see. Comedian Drewski and football wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. have been named in an amended gang R-word lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. In a lawsuit initially filed in October, Ashley Parham accused Combs, 55, of SA and battery, abuse, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. The amended complaint filed Friday names Drewski, born Drew Desbordes, Beckham, blogger Jacqueline Jaguar Wright, Combs' mother, Janice Combs, and 8 others as co-defendants. Now, Parham claimed to have virtually met Combs in February 2018 when she met a man, now identified as Shane Pierce, at a bar, who started a FaceTime call with the Bad Boy Records founder. She goes on to allege that she claimed in the call that Combs had a hand in rapper Tupac Shakur's 96 killing. Pierce set her up to be assaulted by Combs the following month. The alleged assault took place in the Pierce apartment in Orinda, California, a city outside of Oakland, on March 23rd, 2018, she said. During the alleged assault, Parham claims Drewski, previously identified as John Doe, was instructed to assault her by Combs. She alleged that the internet personality doused her with a lubricant and jumped on top of her, knocking the wind out of her due to his enormous size. She claims Combs got one off while recording the assault. She also accuses Pierce and Beckham of taking turns assaulting her during the ordeal. Now, we didn't even know who the hell Drewski was until like 21, 22 maybe. So 2018 is crazy. Where was Odell Beckham playing at in 2018? What was he, with New York still? March 23rd, 2018. I think he was still with the. Yeah, he was still with the Giants. That was his last year. In a statement shared on social media and echoed by his reps to US Today, Drewski 30 called the claim false. So 30, 18, 7, 23 years old. This allegation is fabricated lie. He wrote on X Sunday, I wasn't a public figure in 2018. I was broke living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation. So the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish. He continued, my heart breaks for actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are meticulously trying to game the legal system to peddle false narratives. Beckham 32. Damn, Odell's only 32. I thought he like 35. Odell 32 replied to Drewski post, boy, I tell you what, this world makes absolutely no sense. I'm covered by God. He will prevail. That name will be cleared. It's stupid. US Today reached out to Beckham and his reps for a comment. This new complaint brought by attorney who was already being sued for defaming Mr. Combs demonstrates the depraved links the plaintiffs will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday, said Combs' team, who was suing one of the lawyers who filed the Parham's lawsuit in a statement to US Today on Monday. Mr. Combs was nowhere near California on the day that she claimed she was assaulted there. Parham also claims that the assault, in an effort to convince her not to report the incident, a person identified as Big Homie CC, he's like a security guard or like private security, showed her footage on his phone of her sister's home and that Combs called his mother, Janice, 84, who yelled at Parham to not hurt her son, despite Parham telling the woman that she was violently R-word. Janice Combs seemed unfazed, according to the lawsuit. Police call Ashley's lawsuit claims unfounded. Parham didn't describe an argument that ensued between Big Homie CC and Combs after the Revolt TV founder allegedly said he had gotten off from bigger crimes than this and referred to Tupac again, with the other man asking Combs to repeat what he said. Now, I don't know about Combs. Did he? Oh, yeah, I got rid of Pac, but I did that. Like, do I believe he had something to do with Pac? Maybe, but then Pac just was on some other shit and he got into something he wasn't supposed to. But I don't believe he's really just going around. Not saying that Diddy is innocent of anything, but I don't believe he's just going around and every time you talk to him, we all hear, nah, I done got away with the murder of Pac. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that's a little far-fetched. But Parham claims CC pulled a gun and that she tried to grab it, but it went off. She alleges Combs then ran off with Parham chasing after him with a knife she previously acquired after her assault leading to a fight in which Parham grazed Combs' abdomen. She says she escaped, and after shots were fired in her direction, she took cover in a neighbor's home who called the police. Hold on. In a statement, the sheriff's office said a report was taken March 23rd, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusation. It was later determined the claims were unfounded. So she did put in a police report in March of 2018, but she's saying she stabbed Diddy, grabbed a gun went off, Diddy ran, and she escaped. So bad mama jamma, man. She claims she told the neighbor about the assault, but the neighbor didn't know who Combs was. She alleges that the man showed up at the home posing as an officer from the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office. And that's a tongue twister. Who gave the neighbor an envelope that she assumes included money. However, she says the sheriff's office took a police report that day and has refused to release any information related to that complaint. She said in the alleged transaction, she returned to Pierce's apartment for her belongings, and because she was in a state of shock, decided to sleep at Pierce's home at his what? So she was catatonic and in a state of shock. She decided to stay over there after a shooting took place and after stabbing Diddy at his urgent. Once she woke up, she says he gave her the rest of her belongings and she left. She says she went to the hospital where she received the R kit and x-rays. Her treatment team called Walnut Creek Police. She claims and says she gave a report but did not name Combs. She says she filed a report to the police department the following month, again not naming Combs. Last July, she said she called the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office to amend her complaint amid mountain lawsuits against the embattled media mogul. But aside from a call back from a detective, she says she received no response. Krista, who Combs previously described as my right hand at Combs Enterprises, is also among the co-defendants accused of assisting Combs' predatory sexual behavior proclivities by setting up Parham to be sexually assaulted, and R-word by defendant Diddy, as well as assisted in covering up the crime thereafter. Yeah, man, that's a lot of stuff there. I guess we'll follow that up, but yeah, unless y'all got something, I'm gonna get off because we do have Monday Mistakes on my other channel, so we gotta get ready for that because that's gonna be at least an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're back on The Mo You Know. We didn't watch a movie on my channel yesterday because I was getting my hair twisted, came home and had to do some other stuff. But tomorrow I'll probably do a Mo You Know, a Tubi movie, and then we might watch a movie on my website. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna be on my other channel in 30 minutes for Monday Mistakes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Remember, you can run, but you can't hide. My name is Mo.J, and this is The Mo You Know. Oh, if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. Start posting articles. I'm gonna be doing articles like I record all those short form articles off of my phone, so I just do those while I'm around the house, or if I'm like at work on a break or something, I'll record them. So put it in the article breakdowns if you want me to break it down. If not, just put it in The Mo You Know, and we'll probably grab it on the actual live. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. See y'all in 30 minutes. No, I ain't seen nothing on Luigi. He just sitting in there.